Well, if you're worried about the small stresses in your life, the car breaking down or the kids getting bad grades and all that stuff, we have some good news for you, which is you don't have to worry about any of it because things are about to get so bad that it's going to eclipse all of those concerns. We're joined today by Gerald, the famous doom prognosticator. And you say we've got lots of troubles internationally, but we also have a lot of troubles domestically with a huge unemployment rate, collapse of state finances, government taking over. Give us an overview.
Well, look what's going on overseas. Off with their heads, the students were screaming at the royal couple as tuition rates went up 200%. Austerity measures, out of work, lowering the minimum wage, raising the cost of everything and taxing you more. And you can't get a job. You think there's going to be trouble in the streets? The students in Italy, Tunisia, Algeria, and it's going to be in the U.S. We're going to see a spike in crime. I get a kick out of these scholars that say there's no correlation between people losing their jobs, losing their homes, compounding debt, and high stress levels and losing their mind. You're even seeing it already. You're seeing grannies pulling bank robberies. You know, who knows? Maybe Oliver Twist will be back with a new twist. These financial geniuses taking young computer minds to pull off big cyber crimes. And then you're seeing budgets being cut back across the country. Less police on the force.
Right, you're already seeing that in Newark, New Jersey. I don't live too far from Newark, New Jersey. They've slashed the police force, and crime is on the rise there. And that's a city that has a lot of problems and high unemployment already. You're saying that model, that bad model, is going to be repeated elsewhere.
Look at the numbers. Who are the people out of work the most? The blue-collar jobs. They can't go into manufacturing after getting an education that they're not graduating. In high schools, we're looking at 50% on a graduation rates. So what are these kids going to get into? They're going to get into a life of crime. Your growth industries are the gangs. I mean, you know, Mexico's not too far from the USA.
Right. And so are we going to have a collapse of civilization, or is it just going to be a rough period?
It's going to be a rough period, and certain places are going to be worse than other places. But you can see it declining. Again, what is going to happen to all of these disenfranchised kids? I mean, you know, they're growing up in crazy families to begin with, and now they don't have any future. They have no past. Yes, crime is going to go up. And the political knee-jerk reaction, wait for 2012, we got to crack down on crime. That's going to be the mantra of all these political windbags to solve a problem that's a lot deeper than that.
So what does the reality look like? Does it look like the 1970s in New York, where the city was broke and crime-ridden, graffiti all over the place, and obviously it's changed a lot since then? Does it look like the 1930s?
It's going to look worse than 70s, because look at the trillions of dollars, depending on whose numbers you look at, $2 trillion to $3.5 trillion worth of municipal and state debt from bonds and unmet pension obligations. Who's going to pay this stuff? What's going on in Europe with Portugal, Spain, and Ireland is Illinois, is California, and good old New York. Who's going to pay this money? Where's it going to come from? Oh, I have an idea. We're going to tax you more. We're going to squeeze every nickel and dime out of you.
Right, so that is your forecast. So we're going to have higher taxes and what you call a crackdown on liberty, where government's going to say, there's so much crime in the streets, you're going to not be able to do the things that you took for granted as Americans. I mean, is that really what you think is going to happen?
It's already happening. You've been in the airport lately. You got somebody feeling you up. I mean, who came up with this twisted idea, by the way, that it's okay for a guy to feel you up, I mean, really, and you look what's going on in Houston, in Miami. Drones. Afghanistan's come to the USA, minus the bombs. Drones flying over the city to look in your windows to see what you're doing wrong or if you're okay. And you're seeing it more and more. You're seeing it with Homeland Security closing down websites during the Christmas holiday because copyright infringements. How did this one happen? So yes, at every level, the more government loses control, the harder they crack down.
So is there anything positive to look forward to, or should we all just kill
ourselves?
ourselves?
Yeah, there's a lot positive in the sense that if we let something die, something new could be reborn. What are the great things that made America the best? Quality. Look at those pictures of a decaying Detroit, and the buildings that were built in the early part of the 20th century. They were beautiful. We've become a bottom-line culture. I just heard a report recently. Oh, it's good news. Even though wages are going down, corporations' productivity and competitiveness is going up. No, we have to raise the standard. We have to go back to a time that was a renaissance. And I believe in a renaissance. I really do.
When's that going to come?
When the people make it happen, as you're seeing it already with quality food, you see it all over. It's in front of everyone. So I call it the 25% solution. 25% of this society will put, for example, they'll put their money where their mouth is. They'll move up to quality. The only way we return to the America that everybody wants to have, to me, is a return to quality and beauty. And by the way, beauty doesn't lie in the eye of the beholder. It lies in the behavior. And it's also the antidote to fear. It brought about a renaissance before. Why can't we do one now?
On that hopeful note,
Very
we went
hopeful.
there. Yes,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Gerald.